Our next wrestler is senior Maya Mikolak, who wrestled 110 pounds this season. Maya was also selected as a captain by her peers and coaches this year, and that was something she definitely took to a T, and something that she embraced, as we'll talk about later on. But it's kind of a trend here with some of our seniors. Is Maya was also a transfer student. She came to Columbia last year as a junior from Strongsville, and she did have previous experience in wrestling. She wrestled a little bit in the youth level, but she decided to get back into it. And of course, maybe a little biased, but obviously, I think it was the right call. And I think for her, she agrees it was the right call because even though it was only 2 years, she had an incredible career. Um, but that junior year for her was mostly, getting back into wrestling. We saw right away that she was a, very athletic, very talented young lady, and that she knew what she was doing. It was just getting her body to remember how to do it again. And sometimes it takes a little few months to get that all back, to remember how to do that stuff again. And unfortunately, Maya did suffer some injuries her junior year, which did hold her back. And I know that frustrated her throughout the year, but by the end of her junior season, we were seeing, that her getting really better, much better, and adapting to her wrestling. And we knew that going into her senior year, she was going to be a very dangerous wrestler. And right away, that first tournament of her senior year at Brush, she went out there and took second place at the Lady Arcs tournament. So right away, we're like, yes, this is exactly what we're talking about. She's going before she was kind of relying more on, trying to catch her opponents and get them in a cradle and try to finish them off. But now she's going out there. She's always the aggressive wrestler, going for her takedowns and working from the top. So she became a much more complete wrestler. And unfortunately, though, right after the Lady Arts tournament, she suffered a major injury that laid her off for about a month, because we wanted to make sure she was, healthy and 100% before we let her come back. So she did miss a significant amount of the season, but even missing a large portion of it, she still had a lot of accolades and a lot of wins. She had 25 wins on the season, which put her in the 20 win club, 20 by pin, one tech fall, which she was the team leader and she was the only one I think that had a tech fall on the team. She had one decision, 28 takedowns, 13 total near falls, 14 reversals, and 8 escapes. As mentioned, she took second at the Lady Arcs tournament. She took first at the Ron Alexander Memorial Tournament. That's actually the tournament she came back after she recovered from her injury, and it was a nice tournament for her to come back to. She got two matches. One was a decision and one was a pin, but the match itself was actually, I remember it went into overtime, and she got the pin in overtime. So she actually wrestled two full matches, and that was a great way for her to get her wrestling legs back under her after being out for a month, and to get out there and try some of her moves again before she gets into some of the tougher tournaments like the Lady Raiders Invitational that she took fourth in. Funny thing about that was she took fourth there her junior year, um, out of four wrestlers. This year, there was about 14 wrestlers in her weight class. So she had to go out there and beat up a lot of girls to get there. And it shows, I think, just how far she came and how far girls wrestling has come, really, too. The fact that it went from four girls the year before to now almost being a full weight class. She finished out the regular season by taking second at the Brunswick Girls Tournament. So she had a great run there, too. At the pre-regional tournament, she was one of the top seeds going in, and she dominated all the way up into the finals. Lost a tough match to a girl that, I think Maya should know she should have beaten, but it was the fact that she got to that point. That was a big run for her, taking second place, and it got her to be a regional qualifier. And then at the regional tournament, she had another good run. She actually beat one girl that she lost to earlier in the season, so she got a little bit of revenge there. But she came up just a match short of placing and qualifying for the state tournament. But I remember she walked off the mat with her head up. She was proud of herself, and that's what we always tell the kids, that no matter you win or lose, if you come off knowing that you did your best and you went out and tried everything you could, then your head's gonna be up. And hers was. I mean, she did have some tears because and as she said, it was not so much the wrestling; it's missing the girls, her teammates, and that's one of the reasons why it was so easy for her to be selected as a captain, because she cares so much about her teammates and so much about the team. She always put them first, whether it was giving them rides that needed them or coming out to support them even when she was hurt, or even coming out and supporting the boys and the middle school girls. She came all the way out to Youngstown to help coach and cheer on the middle school girls at their state tournament. She would go to all the youth stuff, support those kids. So that made it also very easy to award her the Jacob Wasco Raider Award. This is named after Jacob Wasco, who passed away, unfortunately, a few years ago. He was a member of our boys team. Um, and the award is to commemorate the individual that always puts that team first and is the best teammate that you could ask for. And that fits Maya to a T. She is one of the, one of the best teammates you could ever ask for. And she's a great young lady to begin with. She always is very upbeat. She's always got a smile on her face. She's very kind, always willing to help. But it's the same with her teammates. And, she was, I remember at regionals, her talking about how she was going to miss the girls. And that kind of broke my heart more than anything, because that is something that in wrestling you always miss, is the people that you were around the whole time. So it made it very easy to give her that award, because she definitely earned it. And with it also came a scholarship. So we're glad that she can use that to help her in her future endeavors, which she's also talked about competing at the next level for wrestling, which we know that she could definitely be successful. And she had a very successful career for being only back for 2 years. So get her in the college room for a little bit, and I know she can be successful. She's already started training for freestyle, so she's already preparing herself in case she decides to continue wrestling at the next level, which, I would love to see her do. For the season, though, she was still selected to be a Lorain County Wrestling Coaches and Officials Association All-Star, and she was selected. It's not in the slide here, but she was selected by the Chronicle Telegram as an All-Star honorable mention as well. For her career, Maya has a second-year Letterman. She had 36 total wins, 26 by pin, 1 tech fall, and 1 decision, 36 takedowns, 17 total near falls, 16 reversals, 17 escapes. She's a 2-time regional qualifier and a 1-time captain. Going to be really tough not having her around. I mean, again, you walk into the room, even if you're in a bad mood, her smile can perk you right up. She's always there to help everyone out, help them with their problems. By the way, she was also a great tutor for a lot of the girls too that needed some extra help. Um, just having her personality in that room is going to be missed. And I really hope she does continue wrestling at the next level, because, as much as she always was around to support her teammates, I know if she decides to continue wrestling, all her former teammates will come out and support her as much as they can, because she's left that much of an impact on so many people. And she's going to be sorely missed. And we hope that she still comes back and visits, because, her great personality, and she will always be a Raider here. So thank you, Maya, and we wish you the best of luck.